representative of Slovenian Shareholders and Individual Investor Association, I would like to ask you about your point of view, how to attract more direct foreign investment in Slovenia, how to make the environment better to attract it, not just from the position of our civil society association, but also as well from the side of government and diplomacy.
Okay, and simpler tax system, simpler regulatory framework, sale of state-owned assets, because, forgive me saying so, but on the whole the private sector does it a darn sight better, and governments are not very good at running industries or commercial enterprises. Decisiveness in public policy. Now, there are always challenges in any coalition government, as my own colleagues back in the United Kingdom are discovering, but I think, as far as I can tell, the business community tends to want the sorts of things that I've described, and it wants them soon, like yesterday, and it wants the government of the day to be as decisive as possible. There is no time to lose. So, simpler tax system, preferably lower and competitive tax rates, simpler regulatory framework which is clear and predictable, maximum transparency in the public procurement process, and speed and decisiveness in the delivery of all of those things. And if those changes are brought about, I would have thought, if it doesn't attract a flood of inward investment, it will certainly attract a substantially greater trickle, and Slovenians will be richer as a result. Now let me return to Ambassador Musimeli and his observation in that telling speech last November that for all the outstanding achievements of Slovenia, which we rightly revere, there remain a number of problems and obstacles to further progress, especially on the economic and commercial front. And he identified, if memory serves me correctly, a quintet of factors which, in his judgment, so far as his contacts with the business community tell him, are currently impeding the rate of commercial advance which Slovenia might otherwise enjoy. And those factors, in short order, are red tape and bureaucracy, which is a scourge of business investment and entrepreneurship, the absence or very slow pace of privatization, the sale of the state-owned assets, excessive levels and complexity in the tax system, marked rigidity in the labour market, where the social protection model is one to which Slovenia seems probably unhealthily addicted, and lastly, a perceived or indeed actual deficit of transparency, not least in relation to the public procurement process. And that combination of 5 factors is retarding the economic advance which Slovenia might otherwise will enjoy and will come, I'm sure, to enjoy in the future. If I think, as somebody who passionately supports the development of the British economy, not least for the benefit of my own constituents in Buckinghamshire, what factors are crucial to our success? Well, I think there are a number. As a country, we need, if we're to attract investment and international confidence, strong public institutions. In other words, you require a stable polity. We require a legal and regulatory framework which is both clear and predictable, and which preferably is robust yet light touch. In other words, not antithetical to business investment or entrepreneurship. We require a respected and demonstrably independent judiciary so that business people know that they're dealing with a decent environment and not one that is prey to corruption, abuse or favoritism. And we require, I think, a free press and a society characterized by a strong civil society which will champion what is good and criticize impropriety and malfeasance where they see it. So those are the sorts of conditions that you need to satisfy if you're to attract investment. Specifically, I think that it is a tribute to the United Kingdom's policies on the economy over a sustained period that we are regarded, I think, as the easiest country in Europe in which to set up and operate a business. And as a matter of fact, we are home to more European headquarters of companies in the United Kingdom than any other member state of the European Union. We have, again, as a matter of fact, fewer barriers to entrepreneurship than virtually any other country in the world. And that's not my say-so, but the verdict of the OECD. It is prognosticated that in 2012, Britain, the United Kingdom, will have the most favourable business environment of any country in Europe. And that's the judgment of the Economist Intelligence Unit. It's said, too, that we will be the most attractive location for foreign direct investment of any country in the European Union. And that's the considered verdict of the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. And we are regarded, I think, as one of the most open, market-orientated, welcoming and receptive countries, so far as overseas investors are concerned, in the judgment of the World Bank. We are home to an enormous financial centre in the city of London. We are expectant and welcoming of investment, including of sovereign wealth funds. And we have an environment, therefore, that says to business people, if you're interested, come here. We want you, we want to do business with you, we want to benefit from you, we want to be in the business of job creation together. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been thrilled to visit Slovenia. I've met, as I always meet on overseas trips, some incredibly sharp and impressive, as well as immensely engaging and personable people over the last 48 hours. And perhaps I can just conclude by saying, whatever the trials and tribulations that Slovenia may be experiencing at the moment, I know from reading Delor on my arrival here in Slovenia that politics may be down, but sport is up. And Slovenians should be in no way backward in coming forward. They should not be embarrassed or self-effacing. They should not in any sense hesitate enthusiastically, repeatedly, and noisily to celebrate the great achievements of Tina Mazen on the ski slopes. Because after all those silver medals, she has notched up a gold. She is your national heroine, your national treasure, your national adornment. I congratulate you upon that, and I hope that Slovenia will come to enjoy the success in terms of increased public respect for democratic institutions and admiration for crowning economic achievements to match what Tina has achieved by way of slalom.